Welcome, Booktubers! I'm Michael Romeo, and I talk about books. But you probably figured that out from the name of the channel, Michael Romeo Talks Books. This is the Booktube Newbies tag, in which I get to introduce myself a little bit more. I've been doing Booktube now, my YouTube channel, for a little over a month, and was suggested to me by Kelly over at Books I'm Not Reading that I do this Newbies tag so that you can learn a little bit more about me and why I'm here and why I'm doing this. So let's get started. The first question is, why did you start this channel? Why did I start this channel? Well, I love books, which I think I've said several times. I love books, I love reading books, I love talking about books, and there's not always a lot of people around to talk about books with. And this gives me an opportunity. Not only are there other people on Booktube that allow me to talk about books, that want to talk about books, that want to hear about books, there are actually people who seek out people like me who want to talk about books. And that's why I started the channel. It's an outlet. I've been reading now for 53 years. I started when I was 7 years old with the first book, which comes up in the question later on. And in all that time, I've never had a group of people that would just let me babble on about what I'm reading and what I'm enjoying. So this was a great outlet for me. I was so glad to discover it. And I've already, in the short time I've been here, I've met some wonderful, wonderful Booktube people. Second question, what unique things will I bring to Booktube? Well, 53 years of reading. In that time, between the age of 7 and the age of 60, I've never had downtime. I see people who talk about, oh yeah, I used to read, but I kind of fell away from it. Well, in that 53-year span, I have never fallen away from it. It doesn't matter what's been happening in my life. I have still been reading. I always had a book in my hand. It was how I coped in some cases. It was my sanity in some cases. And I bring to Booktube a 53-year perspective on reading, on what's enjoyable, on what's exciting. I know one of the things I want to kind of maybe spark some interest in is the popular authors of the middle of the 20th century. People seem to have forgotten so much about how many great authors there were. Authors like James A. Michener, Leon Uris, Susan Howich, Arthur Haley, people who wrote great novels, and you never hear about them anymore. Sidney Sheldon's another one. I don't think I said him yet. And yet there is so much to enjoy out there, and I hope I can spark some interest, especially with the younger people, to go exploring some of these older authors. People tend to read contemporary books that are coming out now, or they read classics, and in the in-between gets kind of forgotten about. And maybe I can help spark a little more interest there. I also hope I bring just, again, the 53 years of experience of reading books and knowing what's out there and just how to enjoy a book. And if I can do that, my job will be done. Third question, what am I most excited about with this channel? Well, I think I've already talked about that. It's the ability to talk about books to anybody who wants to listen. So glad, as I said in the previous video, to finally find my tribe at my old age. To find a tribe that geeks out about books the way that I do, and in some cases even more, which is really exciting to find. I can't tell you what it's like. I'm starting a whole new chapter, no pun intended, in my life, and I can't wait to see where it all goes. The next question is, why do I love reading? Oh my goodness, why do I love reading? Pick up a book. Say you pick up The Source by James A. Michener. You are on a journey through time and geography, and through history, through the creation of the Jewish race, and all the way up to from prehistoric times up to 1945 with the start of the Israeli nation. Pick up another book and you're on another planet. Pick up another book and you're back in the past again. Books will take you anywhere. They'll take you to the past, they'll take you to the future, they'll take you to places you don't have the ability to travel to. They put you in the company of people that are great, people that are not so great, people that you love to hate, people that you love to love. It's just an unending journey, one right after the other, and adventures that are just incalculable. That is the love of reading, and that's why I love reading. Next question on here is, what book made me a reader? 7 years old, I sat down to read a book my mother bought for me, and it was The Mouse and the Motorcycle by Beverly Cleary. And it was the first book I got through, cover to cover, full-length novel, without any help from my mother. I read the whole thing by myself, and I was off on the journey. My plane took off, and I was on for a lifelong ride. It was the first book I read by myself with no help, and the magic spark ignited. The next question is, what questions would I like to ask other YouTubers? Okay, that's an easy one. I've already learned how to put little pictures up because I read mostly ebooks. I read on my Kindle Fire because I have arthritis in my hands and the eyesight's starting to go at 60 years old. So I can play with the font and I can hold something that's a little lighter than a big book. So I've learned to put in the pictures of the books rather than hold them up like a lot of people do. But what I haven't figured out is, every now and then somebody will point up to a little link right about there. How do you get that link there? How do you get words to go across the bottom? And if you can just, put it in the comments or tell me where I can find the information on how to do that, I'd be really appreciative. Also, how do you get, I've seen people who have a little filmed intro with music. How do you get that done? I may be a book geek, but one thing I've never geeked out on is computers and technology. I'm usually too busy reading to find out a lot about how that stuff works. Let's see what else is on here. The last question is, what do I expect to be the largest challenge with this channel? Well, that's easy. I've spent most of my life as a bookworm and an introvert. Putting myself out in front of people is really something that pushes the boundaries of my envelope. And this is a whole new adventure for me. Putting myself out in front of people and feeling comfortable doing it. There have been a couple of the videos I've done where I thought I was being really excited about what I was talking about, and then I watch the video and I go, I can't post this. It looks like I'm a corpse talking. It's so dead-faced. So getting that excitement that I feel to come across on the camera is going to be another challenge, and I'm going to overcome them. They are great challenges to overcome, and this whole Booktube YouTube channel adventure is just something that I've really just thrown myself into. And again, I've met some great people already. I expect I'm going to meet more great people. I love hearing from y'all in the comments. I love it when you reply to my comments that I leave on other Booktube pages. And when I see the subscribe number grow, I get so excited because other people are there and they're listening to me, and it's just a great experience. I'm glad I found it. And I thank you all for being there and being here to watch this latest episode about the what is it called again? The Booktube Newbies tag. So you can learn a little bit more about me. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you have any advice, leave them in the comments. And I guess that's it for this one. Always remember, Amor Fati. Thanks. Talk to you later.